Hello everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is Prehistoric Facts special episode number 202. We're going to be talking about a predatory dinosaur, and that predatory dinosaur is Baryonyx. And so here is a sketch artist, a sketch or an artist rendition of what Baryonyx looked like. And Baryonyx is one of my all-time favorite theropod dinosaurs. It's a cool looking spinosaur, and let's actually take a look. Let's actually talk about Baryonyx, shall we? So Baryonyx, the name means heavy claw. The length is 25 to 33 feet, or 7.5 to 10 meters. Height is 7.3 feet, or 2.24 meters. Weight is 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. It lived 130 to 125 million years ago in the early Cretaceous period, and the fossils are found in the United Kingdom and Portugal, and was described by Charig and Milner in 1986. Now, this fossil was discovered in 1983, but it took 3 years for this dinosaur to be described in a paper. And so, yeah, so let's continue. And so, in this slide right here, we actually have a map of Europe, and you can see where the red circles are. You can see where the countries where you can see the countries that I have circled here is where the Baryonyx fossils have been found. So the United Kingdom, so this part of the United Kingdom right here. So like in the parts of England, Wales, and Scotland, but mostly in England, where you're going to find Baryonyx fossils. That's where the holotype specimen has been found. And then you got Portugal. There's been fossils of Baryonyx that have been found in Portugal. There has been some rumors of like possibly Baryonyx fossils have been found in northern Africa, but that's still to be determined. But it's more likely the better specimens are found in the United Kingdom and Portugal. And so here's a size chart on the top right of Baryonyx compared to a normal human. Baryonyx would be considered as a medium-sized predatory dinosaur, and you can see the full name Baryonyx walkeri. So yeah, it's a pretty good sized dinosaur. And then here on the bottom right here, you actually see here is the Scott Hartman illustrations of Baryonyx. And so when you look at the top image, right, the top part right here of this image, you actually see this is the holotype specimen. Not a lot has been found of Baryonyx, and this holotype specimen is more likely a juvenile. And so they have an estimated size for an adult, like I said in the previous slide, of what an adult possibly could be. Now, let's actually get to the details of Baryonyx. More information about Baryonyx, and so Baryonyx belongs to the Spinosauridae family, so it is a type of Spinosaur. You can definitely tell by how it looks like is that it is related to Spinosaurus, and it's part of its own family group, the Baryonychinae, Baryonychinae, whatever you want to say it. So it's part of its own family group of Spinosaurs, and some big details of why it's similar to Spinosaurus. Of course, it's got that long croc-like skull, and it's got those like little pits at the end of its snot, and its snout is where nerves were actually been for it to possibly to be able to dip its snout into the water, so that way it can pick up the vibrations of fish swimming around and all that. So it's kind of got like that crocodile type feature where it can just dip its nose right into the water to be able to find its prey that way. And of course, Baryonyx has conical teeth like all Spinosaurs, but no serrations. Like all Spinosaurs, Spinosaurs do not have serrations on their teeth. They have conical teeth. And what this means is that these teeth are designed to grab and hang on, not really to tear apart anything. And so that means whatever they were grabbing was actually going to be very slippery and be able to try to get out of their mouth as quickly as possible. And of course, a big characteristic of Baryonyx and why it got its name, it's got a large hand claw on the first digit that can be 10 to 12 inches, which is pretty big. That is a pretty big claw, and that's how it got its name. A heavy claw, Baryonyx. And of course, Baryonyx is a carnivore, like all the type of Spinosaurs and theropods that it belongs to. The environment in where Baryonyx lived in, it would have been warm and humid. There would have been plenty of trees, ferns, cycads, and flowers. Flowers were still a little bit primitive at the time, but they were still were starting to get their foothold onto the earth. But of course, it was very little bit about a bit amount of flowers at that point in time. Of course, no grass. There was no grass during that particular kind of time. There would have been plenty of rivers, lakes, and ponds, and of course, you got that seaway, the Tete Sea, that was actually around at that point in time too. And then you got other types of animals that were around too, like insects, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds, or the avian dinosaurs. They're early types of birds. And then you got pterosaurs and the non-avian dinosaurs, which are the typical dinosaurs that we all know and love. Now, the prey of Baryonyx, it would have been plenty of fish. It's mostly going to be a fish eater because there has been stomach contents found of Baryonyx that had fish scales in there, and plenty of fish. And these would have been pretty large fish too, because these would have been fish that would probably be like, say, like a foot long to at least 2 feet, or 2 feet long, or even 3 feet. It could probably actually eat 3 foot long fish, and those are pretty. And that's pretty big. That's kind of pretty big fish there. It could even eat larger fish if it had to. It would also have been eating small reptiles and mammals with those conical teeth. You might as well go after smaller types of prey as well, like the small reptiles and mammals. It would have also eaten smaller dinosaurs, because even in the stomach contents of Baryonyx, they have found tiny bones of a juvenile iguanodon that was actually around in its environment. And so a juvenile iguanodon, we don't even know if it preyed upon that, like if it killed it on its own, or maybe it just found one that was near the riverbank or the lake, and just decided to have a free meal when like it was a dead one, and it possibly would have, and also would have eaten carrion, so dead animals along the way too. And the extinction of Baryonyx was mostly going to be due to climate change. At that point in time, 125 million years ago, the sea levels were rising, and also, of course, with plate tectonics, a lot of those continents were already beginning to go further and further away apart. And with Europe, it was all a bunch of tiny islands because of the rising sea levels. And of course, Baryonyx would have been outcompeted by larger opportunistic predators. And so, what I mean by opportunistic predators is these are predators that would have been able to eat larger prey and also had a much wider prey options, whereas Baryonyx is mostly going to be a specialist. And when you're a specialist and you're going to be able to only eat small prey, and that small prey goes away, then it really does become hard for you to be able to fight for the same food sources as those bigger opportunistic predators that were around at that point in time too. And so Baryonyx really struggled to survive after 125 million years ago. And so those opportunistic predators uh, were were able to outcompete Baryonyx for the types of food sources that it could go after. And so here's a map of the early Cretaceous. This is the best one I could find. This is basically from 128 million years ago. And you can kind of see here where England and Portugal really are. They're tiny little islands. And so these would have been uh, places where Baryonyx actually were lived in. But of course, there would have been some land bridges that were around at that point in time too, where Baryonyx could go from island to island and be able to island hop to find its food. And so, but this is 120 million years ago, so this is pretty much after Baryonyx went extinct. And so, yeah, but this is the best map I could find of 125 million around that particular kind of time. So early Cretaceous time period. And the next episode will be on March 9th, 2023, and there'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinocris71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dinocris. Like the page, yes, you post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them in messages for private conversations. And so make sure you put your questions in the comment section. And for you YouTubers out there, like the videos, like the videos, give this video a thumbs up. According to my analytics, a lot of you guys that are checking out my channel are not subscribed yet, so please feel free to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button so that we can spread this video out to people that are interested in dinosaurs and paleontology and other types of prehistoric life. And also share the channel, share the videos to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life. And also hit that notification bell so that way you can get updated every video that comes out weekly, because I do weekly videos. And so you guys can check that out and whatever. And so please hit that bell if you feel like it. And also, for YouTubers out there, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot in the Q&A episodes, and you're on all of you and that are sending me questions through email, Facebook, and YouTube. You guys are awesome for giving me some great questions for the Q&A episodes. And make sure you keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of the people around you. Also, for younger people out there, to make sure listening to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have for good education. For good education, it's very important to have good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And I gotta say, this was supposed to happen the past month, but it's gonna happen now. And so I want to thank all of you for 10 years of support. 10 years ago, I started this channel. I cannot believe it's been 10 years. And this channel's been around for a decade, and it's amazing how fast time goes by. And you guys are the reasons why I keep doing these videos. And so keep it up. And I just want to say thank you for 10 years of support, and keep it up. And I'll continue to do videos for 10 more years. And that's it for now. And I'll see you guys next time.